Everyone, welcome to Salesforce Apex course. So in this video we are going to see about constructors. Okay, so what is constructor and why we use it, right? Okay, so constructors, right? So let's see what are constructors. Okay, so in previous video we saw about the object creation, right? When we are creating the class, we are creating the objects, right? So let's say let's say first create the class. Okay, let's say I'm creating a class. Okay, I'm creating a class called employee, right? Okay, so class is created, right? Okay, so if we have some method in it, okay, if we create a method like public static void, let's say details, we have this method in this class. Okay, so if we want to execute this method, what we do is we create the object, right? How we create the object? We write the class name employee, then write the object name equal to, then we write the new keyword, and then we again write the employee class name, and then parenthesis and semicolon, right? So here after the new keyword there is employee. Okay, so this is actually not a class name, but this is actually we are calling the constructor, right? So let's see how we can create the constructor. Okay, so for creating the constructor we have to write public, then constructor name should be same as the class name. Okay, so here class name is employee. Okay, employee. Okay, so class name is employee, then parenthesis and then curly braces, and inside the curly braces we can write whatever code we want to execute. Okay, so here the point to be noted is here we do not use the return type, right? Here we do not use the return type like void or any integer, right? So constructor does not take the return type. Okay, it has the access modifier and then the name, which should be same as the class name, right? Same as the class name. Okay, and inside the curly braces we can write the code whatever we want to execute. Okay, so here when we creating the object, we are calling the constructor. Okay, so this is employee, then parenthesis, this is actually we are calling a constructor. Okay, so when we create object, this the code inside the constructor will run. Okay, let's say we write a system.debug and write the constructor is called right. Let's save it. Okay, so now I have already created the object. Now let's execute this. Okay, debug only, and here you can see the constructor is called. Okay, so when the constructor is executed, okay, when the constructor is executed, when we create the object. Okay, so when we want to perform some actions while creating the object, okay, upon creation of object, we want to execute some line of code, or we want to set some default values. Okay, let's say in the employee we have string name, right? We have string name, we have integer age. Okay, if we want to set a default values when we want to when the we create the object. Okay, so what I will do, we will write name equal to, let's say Aman, Aman. Okay, I am setting the default value Aman, right? Then I will set age equal to 20, right? So now what I will do, I will save it, and what I will do, I will just print the name. Okay, let's say system.debug, I will print the e1.name, right? Here first of all we haven't given any given any name or age to the employee. Okay, in the constructor we are setting the default value of name as Aman and age as 20, right? So when this line of code will execute when we create the object, right? When we create the object, this line of code will execute, right? So let's see system dot debug. What is the issue? Okay, so now let's save it. It will okay, let's wait while it's saving the program. Okay, so error is gone, right? So now let's execute this. Even dot name, right? Employee one equal to name plus not debug even dot name. Let's execute this. Variable is not visible. Okay, we have to make it. We have to make this variable as public, right? Public and public. Then we can able to access these variables, right? So now let's wait. Okay, now let's execute this. Now it will execute perfectly. Okay, here you can see constructor is called and then name is Aman, right? We got name as Aman, right? So why we use the constructors? So the main use of constructor is when we want to perform some actions while creating the object creation. Okay, when we create the object, we want to perform some actions, then we can write down the code of that particular action in the constructor. Okay, we can also create a parameterized constructor, right? We can also here, instead of like giving value here, we can also give the parameterized, let's say string name comma integer age. Okay, okay, so now we have to map this variable. Okay, so now I will whatever the parameter I will give, I want to save it in this class variable, right? Class variable name. Okay, so to access both have the same variable name, right? So to access the variable of the class inside the constructor, what we can use, we use the this keyword. Okay, so this dot name will refer to this this class variable name, right? And what we are going to do, we are going to give the name, we have to assign the name value to the this class variable name, right? So now let's save it. Missing, what is missing here? Okay, done. Okay, so now here I have to give the, let's remove age, let's take only name. Okay, so now how we can give the name? Okay, so here while calling the constructor, here we can assign the name. Let's say I am assigning name as Aman. Okay, now let's execute this. So okay, so here you can see we got the result as Aman. Okay, so what is the flow of the execution? Okay, so we created the class. Okay, then we created the object. The object called the constructor, right? The object called the constructor. Okay, here we have given the Aman as a value. Okay, it is received here as a parameter in the name variable of this constructor, right? So now we have assigned the this name Aman into this class variable. Okay, so to access this class variable, we have given this the same name, right? Okay, so to differentiate which variable we are referring, so this name will refer to this parameter and this dot name will refer to the class variable which we have created in the class, right? So that's how we use the constructor. Okay, so that's it for today's video. I hope you understand the concept of constructor. Okay, if you have any doubt, then you can write down in the comment section, right? I will definitely reply. Okay, so that's it for today's video. I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Make sure to like and subscribe the channel.